You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We're a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, Skulls, I'm broadcasting.
Well, I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money. I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we're celebrating today National Cherries Jubilee Day. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Just need a little whipped cream on there and we'd be in good shape. Cherries, you don't even see that around too much anymore. National Cherries Jubilee Day. Okay, let's move on because I can't sit here and drool over that all day long. Well, maybe I could, but I shouldn't. Let's take a look and see what the markets are doing today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up 21.5. The S&P 500 is up 12.5. NASDAQ is up 115.78. Oil up $1.07 a barrel. And gasoline prices, do we even want to look? Do we want to know how far gasoline prices are up in the formerly Golden State? Well, let's take a look. They are currently, they're down a penny. 473. They were 474 yesterday. So we come down a whole penny. If we look a year ago, 581. So we are in much better shape right there than we had been. Glad to see that, at least, that we're a little bit better off there. But I'm sure that we'll come up with another regulation, another rule, another something or another out of Washington that'll hurt us. Well, not Washington. It's out of the state of California. Hey, you want to do a little math? How about a little math right now? So let's just think about the calendar, and we're going to think about this concept. So 52 weeks in a year, 5 working days. Well, let's say that the legislature probably takes off more, but I'm going to say 2 weeks a year. They probably take off more. They should take off a lot more, but so 50 weeks, 250 working days in a year for the California legislature and governor. They've passed over 1,000 bills this year, and they do it every year, 1,000. So that means every single day they're coming up with 4 new laws and regulations to control us. 4 new every single day. Can you believe that?
Ow!
Yeah, it's horrible, but they do it all the time. So yesterday we talked about the bags. Okay, so we got that bag mandate. Today the governor says that surprise, surprise. Now this is
Surprise, surprise.
that illegal immigrants cannot work in the university system. It is the newest one. Now that's surprising because, I mean, we can pay for their education. He wants to pay for their housing. So they're coming in there and saying, okay, but they can't work in the universities. Just baffling, all these new laws that go in, and they think that they're trying to make it better, but it doesn't work. You cannot continue to legislate and think that it's going to work. I got a message this morning from our friend Justin Benton that CBDA, I don't know, I hadn't heard this one. CBDA oil is now banned in the state of California. Can't sell it in the state of California. So I guess when I need my roll-on, I'm going to have to go visit Josh to get it. Right? I mean, at least Josh is in America, right? So they had to move their company out of California. They're now in Arizona because the state has said, and I don't know why. CBDA, I guess, is bad for you. I mean, it's just amazing how many things they continue to do. Yesterday we were talking about plastic bags. So they didn't like the idea of plastic bags. Today, the latest for today, are you ready for this one? I don't know. I should have asked Josh this before we went on air because Josh will know more about this one than me. So the latest ban is the schools, all of the schools have to come up with their own plan to ban cell phones at the school level. So the kids can't have their cell phones. Now, you know, when I was a kid, obviously we didn't have cell phones. Don't go there that we didn't. It wasn't teletype either, right? But you know, so we did it. We had our mischief. We got into a little bit of mischief here and there, but you know, we'd pass notes. So now they text. You know, my grandson's 3. I don't know that I'd want him having a open line at school, but you know, maybe for emergencies. You know, now we hear more and more emergencies at schools. Parents want to get a hold of the kids. You know, it's a mixed bag on that one. You know, and you don't want to give the teachers more work. So, Josh, are they banning cell phones in Nevada for the kids? Or no, they're in America, so they don't have to have a rule. Maybe they just get in trouble if they use them in an inappropriate time, right? Think about this nanny state that we're in. It just amazes me that they go on and on and on about things that should just be common sense, right? I mean, we didn't need somebody to tell us that if you jump off the merry-go-round, you could get hurt. We did it anyway. We scraped our elbows. We scraped our knees. Not a big deal. You know, at my size, I didn't go very far. I just kind of plunk right there. You know, even in baseball, you go to slide and you see these guys sliding several feet. I went to go slide and it was like earthquake. You didn't move, nothing at all. So you just watch some of these things. You say, why does the government have to get involved in every little part of our lives? So now we've got the cell phones and the teachers have to watch out for cell phones. Unbelievable. We've got, what other ones do we see in here? You're still allowed, if you're an illegal immigrant, you can still shoot people. In LA, they want to still, the overwhelming majority of the people want to ban or increase the penalties for theft. But, you know, you don't have to, that's not really a major issue, right? As long as it's under $950, you're allowed to do it. Or at least the consequences are minimal. I don't understand. Where's the common sense in our world? I saw this morning, I was watching the news very early. So they see this massive, massive estate. It's actually owned by the son of the owner of the Philadelphia Phillies. And it's a massive estate covered in graffiti. Well, it took so long for that graffiti to get there. You got to wonder, has anybody been in this massive mansion in certainly more than months, maybe years because of how long this took? I'm just throwing it out there. So now they've got to go through, they've got to clean it up. They got to get rid of all the illegals that are, or the homeless that are the squatters that are there. And oh yeah, now they're going to finally put up guards on the property. Now, if you've got a property that size, it's got to be in the multiple tens of millions of dollars for this property. You got to watch it. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, is your house priced too high? The down payment assistance you didn't know about. Strategic liability management, the key to wealth creation and financial freedom. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air numbers, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Homeowners over the age of 62 are taking back financial control after retirement with reverse mortgages, and the Siegel Lending Team is here to help you use it to your advantage. Call Ron Siegel with Geneva Financial to receive your free information booklet with no obligation. The booklet answers all your questions, and the best part is, you still own your home. Call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990 or visit ronsiegelradio.com.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. 1990, the Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, and every day at this time, OBMMI. They provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. Let's take a look and see what rates did yesterday. Now, this is the raw rates. They don't tell us points paid, points received, or the APR. This is the number you put in the mortgage calculator. You get the mortgage calculator free on our mobile app, ronismylender.com, ronismylender.com. 30-year conventional rates up yesterday, 6.107. 30-year jumbo rates up yesterday, 6.49. FHA 30-year fixed up 5.9. VA 30-year fixed up 5.52. USDA 30-year fixed up 6.02. Clean sweep. Every one of them went up yesterday. If you want our thoughts about the market, rsrlinks.com/market minute, rsrlinks.com/market minute. Every morning, as early as the data allows, we put out a report to our subscribers, and it's free, so you don't have to pay anything. It's a free subscription. rsrlinks.com/market minute. We put that out as early as the data allows. What's happening in the markets today? Well, we've got the S&P 500 is up 12.28. The 10-year Treasury flat. Mortgage-backed securities are up ever so slightly, 4 basis points. And remember, when the bond goes up, rates go down. Now, there is a correlation between the 30-year fixed rate loan and the 10-year Treasury. I'm not going to get into that in too much depth today, but there is a correlation in those. What else is there a correlation in? Well, so it's a global economy. We talk about that all the time. Why are we seeing some of the 10-year Treasury bond, the bonds go up, the mortgage-backed security bond go up? Why is that? It's a global economy. Bonds do not like inflation. And the People's Republic of China announced several measures of stimulus to try to help spur economic activity and help their financial markets. It includes cutting the reserve requirement ratio, freeing up an estimated 1 trillion yuan in lending, cut the 7-day reverse repo rate, slashed average interest rates paid on existing mortgages by 0.5%, lowered minimum down payment to buy a home to 15%, created a 500 billion yuan swap facility to lend money to funds, insurers, and brokerage firms to use buy stocks, created a 300 billion yuan relending facility given to commercial banks that would in turn lend the money to companies and other entities for stock buybacks. People's Republic of China is essentially putting a floor beneath their housing and stock markets, and if successful, could create more economic activity in the global markets. As a result, Chinese stocks are moving higher, as well as commodity prices. Bond markets around the globe are moving lower in price and higher in yield as it's being viewed as inflationary. If you remember, our Federal Reserve was increasing our interest rates on their Fed funds rate as the inflation was so high. This is just the opposite. They're reducing their rates to get more money into the economy in China, and the belief is it could cause inflation around the world. Let's see what else the Federal Reserve is talking about today. The Atlanta Fed president, Raphael Bostic, said he was in favor of cutting 50 basis points because this is what last week's market, because the uncertain trajectory of the labor market. He also explained that the Fed can now slow down the size of cuts to 25 basis points unless the labor market shows further signs of material weakening. As mentioned on Fed Day, all 19 Fed members do not see the unemployment rate rising past 4.5% this year. If the unemployment rate gets to 4.5 or above, the Fed may have to cut more aggressively. Chicago Fed President Austin Goolsbee happy with where inflation and the labor market is today, but if they want to keep things that way, the Fed cannot wait for problems to show up and cannot be behind the curve if they want to avoid recession. Goolsbee said, quote, when inflation is coming in at the target and unemployment is where you want it, do you want to be the tightest in decades? If you're too restrictive for too long, you're not going to be at the sweet spot on the dual mandate for much longer, unquote. Goolsbee explained that Fed funds rate is hundreds of basis points above neutral, and that the Fed funds rate has a long way to come down to get to neutral, where the Fed is neither restrictive or stimulative to the economy. Almost all the Fed members are citing great progress on inflation and worries about the labor market. Does that surprise anybody? Except for Fed Governor Bowman, who has the lone dissenter at the September 18th Fed meeting. Bowman said today that inflation remains uncomfortably above their 2% target, and the progress on inflation could stall. She said that low inventory and home prices are to blame, but they are not even included in the appreciation reports. Additionally, she thinks there are risks to inflation because of the labor market, which she sees as being near full employment. She also cited that unemployment rate fell in the latest report from 4.3 to 4.2. But if you listen to Ron Siegel Radio on a regular basis, you know that that was just a rounding. It went from 4.25, which is rounded to 4.3, to 4.22, rounded to 4.2. That's only a 0.03% change. Poorly informed in my opinion. I've shared that with you before. Of course, you know my opinion of most of the Fed members.
Such an idiot.
Yeah,
Such an idiot.
So inflation has made significant progress. It's not far from the Fed's target. It's being held up by lagging shelter and motor vehicle insurance, which the Fed can't control motor vehicle insurance. Additionally, while the unemployment rate is historically low at 4.2%, it's about the relative change, which is up 0.8% from the cycle low and potential risk of moving higher. Let's talk about appreciation of real estate. Home values continue to set new all-time highs. The Case-Shiller Home Price Index, which is the gold standard for appreciation, showed that home prices rose 0.2% in July, rising to another record high. Prices are now 5% year over year, down from 5.5% in the previous report, due to higher price gains last year that are being replaced in the annual calculation. 10 and 20 city indices were higher than the nationwide figures, showing that the big cities are outperforming the rest of the nation. Additionally, lower priced homes appreciated at a faster rate than the overall market, which makes sense as there is greater demand. The 10 city index is up 6.8% year over year. 20 city is up 5.9%. Leading the way with price gains was New York City, Las Vegas, and Los Angeles. The lowest price gains were seen in Portland. Prices still higher. FHFA released their house price index, which measures home price appreciation on single-family homes with the conforming loan limits. Different than the Case-Shiller, it does not include cash buyers or jumbo loans. The FHFA reported that home prices rose 0.1% in July and are up 4.5% year over year, which is down from 5.3% in the previous report. Despite the negative media, home prices continue to move higher and provide a significant wealth creation opportunity. We may even see appreciation figures accelerate if rates continue to moderate and there's more demand to bid prices higher. That's the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And I forgot our question of the day, and it fits in right here. At what age did you buy your first home? What age did you buy your first? Put it in the chat. I see that you're watching. Put it in the chat so we can hear what you've got to say. If you're listening to us live on AM 1490 or FM 98.1 on the ABC News Network, News and Talk Network, just yell at the radio. Say it loud. If you say it loud enough, I'll be able to hear you. So go ahead and tell us, at what age did you buy your first home? Gosh, I'd have to go back because it was a long, long time ago. I think I was 22 when I bought my first home. I bought it in a partnership with a fraternity brother of mine. Yeah, way back when. So what age did you buy your first home? But let's talk a little bit about prices and homes, because it's something I'm hearing all the time. In fact, I was on a conference call with a very, very smart individual earlier in the week, or the end of last week. And he said, well, real estate values have to drop. And I consistently point to the question, why? Now, I understand it in 2009, 2010, why real estate values dropped. I understand it in 2022, why real estate values dropped, because it was a supply and demand issue. There were still houses on the market. People needed to sell. Back in 2008 and 2009, nobody was buying. There was no financing available because the financial markets had tightened up. So right now, what I ask is, what is the catalyst for prices to drop? There has to be some reason that prices drop. They don't just drop because people say, oh, I think the prices are going to drop. Well, is it because, and I think the property values are too high. Okay, that's good. I understand your opinion, but please help me. Tell me why you think that they are good for that. Why you think they're going to drop. So my thinking is that, supply and demand. Okay, we don't have enough supply. We've still got a lot of demand. If we're going to lose the financing, okay, maybe that could be it. Is that what people are thinking about? I'm trying to find the catalyst of why people think that prices are going to drop. The fact that the inflation is still there, money is still readily available. You can still get it anytime you want it. There's still loans out there. There are still a lot of people that are in those 2-3% loans. And when I say 2 or 3, I'm talking about the first digit. It could be 3.99 is still considered a 3, what they call a 3 handle. Anything under 4. Still a lot of people with those loans are saying, I'm not giving up those loans. Even though if they're in the Home Select product, they would be getting a better effective interest rate. But the bottom line here is, if we're not getting those, we're not getting new properties. I know that Vice President Harris says that they're going to create 3 million new homes. No, they're not. Because there's too much bureaucracy. There's too much regulation. So they can say all they want about that. Governor Newsom, I know, wants to go to court with Huntington Beach because they don't have a plan. Well, there's still too much red tape for people to want to build. And if that's the case, if you're looking at all these hundreds of thousands of dollars in permitting fees and startup fees, there's no money to build an affordable house. So there's no new inventory coming online, regardless of what they want to say. And there's still people that want to buy houses. So if there's more demand than there is supply, Economics 101 says the prices will continue to increase. There may be pockets where it goes down, but when you hear the Case-Shiller number saying that prices are going up 5% or 5.5%, well, historically on a national level, prices only appreciate by about 3 to 4%. So prices are still hotter than they've been. The appreciation is still hotter. If it comes down by 20%, we're still growing at the normal rates. So when you're hearing people say that we're going to wait for those to come down, it's not going to happen. The other part of it is they'll probably accelerate the appreciation. Why? Because interest rates are coming down. Inflation is under control, no matter what Michelle Bowman wants to say. Inflation is under control, and we are seeing a weakening in the labor market. How's the Fed going to control the weakening of the labor market? Well, they're going to cut rates further. They've already told us that. There's also about a 70 basis point spread. And this is really getting into some weeds here, but I will do it anyway to share with you. So historically, the spread between a 10-year Treasury note, and I already shared with you that the 10-year Treasury note is trading this morning at, let me find that again. I know I'm going over, Josh, but we'll make it up. The 10-year Treasury note, well, I got to find it in a different spot. It's not coming up there quickly. We look at a 10-year Treasury note and we find out, okay, what is that 10-year Treasury? We should be able to add 1.79 to the 10-year Treasury, and that'll give us a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. So right now, the 10-year Treasury is at 3.74. Add 1.79 to that, and mortgage rates should be at 5.53. But wait, we already told you this morning that they were at 6.1. So that means there's 60 basis points, almost 0.5%, that just to get back to historic norms, that the mortgage rate could come down 0.5% or the 10-year Treasury could go up 0.5%, and we'd be back at historic norms. Do we think the 10-year Treasury is going up? No. Do we think the mortgage bond is going to come down? It will over time, and I'll tell you why, but not right now. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. Is your house price too high? Down payment assistance you didn't know about, and strategic liability management, the key to wealth creation and financial freedom. All that and more. Reach me anytime, off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the first Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by rsrmoney.com. rsrmoney.com. Is your house price too high? That is the subject. Every seller wants to get their house sold quickly for as much money as they can with as few headaches as possible. And chances are you're no different. But did you know one of the biggest things that could jeopardize your success is the asking price for your home? Pricing your house correctly is one of the most crucial steps in the selling process. So how do you know if you're missing the mark? Here are a few signs your high asking price may be turning potential buyers away, and why leaning on your real estate agent is the best way to course correct. Number one, you're not getting many showings or offerings. One of the most obvious signs your house may be overpriced is a lack of showings. If it's been on the market for several weeks and only a few buyers have come to see it, or worse, you haven't got any offers, it could be a clear indication the price isn't matching up with what buyers expect. Because buyers who have been looking for a while can easily spot and write off a home that seems overpriced. Your real estate agent will coach you through this, so lean on their experience for what you may want to try to bring more buyers in, including considering a price cut. Number two, buyers have consistent negative feedback after showings. And if after the showings you do have, comments from the potential buyers aren't great, you may need to course correct. Feedback from showings is an important part of understanding how buyers see your house. If they consistently say it's overpriced compared to other homes they've seen, it's time to reconsider your pricing strategy. Your agent will gather and analyze this feedback for you so you can take a look at how your house stacks up in the market. They can also suggest specific improvements or staging changes to better justify your asking price, or recommend one that aligns with today's buyer expectations. As the National Association of Realtors, NAR, explains, based on all the data gathered, agents may make adjustments to the initial price recommendations. This could involve adjusting the price for market conditions, property uniqueness, and other factors that may impact the property's value. Number 3. Lack of interest is ultimately going to lead to it sitting on the market without any serious bites. The longer it lingers, the more likely it is to raise red flags for buyers who may wonder if something is wrong with it, especially in today's market. With growing inventory, a long listing period means your house is stale, and that makes it even harder to sell. Your real estate agent will be able to give you perspective on how quickly other homes in your area are selling and walk you through what's working for other sellers. That way, you can decide together if there's something you want to do differently. As Bankrate article says, quote, check with your agent about the average number of days homes spend on the market in your area if your listing has been up significantly longer. You can also get that information free from us. We give it to you all the time. Go to rsrlinks.com/market report. rsrlinks.com/market report. Our friends over at Altos Research tracks every home for sale every single week, and they put out a report on it. And that report kind of gives us an idea as to what's happening in the marketplace for every home. Is there, right now, I just looked at the report, and we put it out on a regular basis on our stuff. I looked at one of the reports, and I think it's 39% of the homes are taking a price reduction. If 39% of the homes are taking a price reduction, norm is 33%. The normal amount is 33%. So if that's the case, watch what's going on in the marketplace. Number 4, your neighbor's house sold without an issue. Here's the latest one to watch out for. If similar homes in your area are selling faster than yours, it's a clear sign that something is off. This could be due to things like a lack of upgrades, outdated features, or less desirable location, or it may be priced too high. Your agent is going to help you with that. Your agent will keep you up to date on the competition and what changes, if any, you need to make for your home to be more competitive. They'll offer advice on small updates that could increase your home's appeal, or how to adjust your strategy to reflect the reality of the market. Now, remember, when we talk about adjusting the strategy, we've talked to you about our payment reduction plan, right? You don't have to reduce the price of the property. What do builders do? Builders don't reduce the price of the property. What the builders do is they give an incentive, because they need to keep the prices high for their next generation of properties, for future plans, right? So what do? They say, okay, well, we're going to give you a 3, 4, 5% credit for a payment reduction plan. And sometimes that 5%, here's the thing. If the 5% works out to $20,000, say you're a $400,000 home, 5%, $20,000. That's the same as giving a $60,000 price reduction. When you do the math, as far as a $60,000 price reduction using current interest rates will yield a payment. Because what does a person want? They want a payment. If you could buy a beach house and have it the same price as the payment for a house inland, maybe if I get a $2 million house at the beach, I know that's small, but a $2 million house at the beach and your payment is $1,000 a month, of course you're going to take it, all things being equal. Of course you're going to take that, right? Because you want the payment you can afford. So let's also take a look at a chart, and we've shared this chart with you many, many times on Ron Siegel Radio. Who's seeing your property? Well, if you've got it priced at market value, and I just told you things that'll tell you if it's at market value. If you're not getting any showings and you're not getting any offers, you are above market value. And if you're above market value by 10%, only 30% of the market is even seeing your property. If you're above market value by 15%, only 10% of the market is seeing your property. Now let's go the other way. Price your property low. Price it aggressive. 10% below market, 75% of the market sees your property. I just had a conversation yesterday with an out of area financial advisor, and his comment was, these guys in California, they're pricing their property too high because I don't see the comp for it. He said, we're not in that market any longer. And I said, no, this is California. We're still in the market where they're pricing aggressively. The homes will get bid up to value. Throw that out there for you. Bottom line, pricing a home correctly is both an art and a science. It requires a deep understanding of the market and buyer psychology. And when the price isn't drawing in buyers, there's no better resource than your agent on what you may want to do next. Just throw that out there for you. I mean, you got to get the emotion out. That's a real-time real estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. I'm going to share with you that the minute you contemplate selling, you have to divorce your property. It is no longer your home. It is a house. And we've talked on Ron Siegel Radio before about the difference between a house and a home. House is all the emotional stuff. It's where I'm raising my kids. It's where I'm raising my grandkids. It's where I go home to see my wife, my spouse, my husband, my family, whatever. It's my sanctuary. It's my castle. All the emotional stuff. The house, that's the mortgage payment, the insurance, the property taxes, the allowance for repairs. That's the house. Get divorced from the home. It's just an asset you're trying to maximize the value from. And if you don't do that, then you're going to be in trouble because you're going to end up pricing it high. And when you price a house high, if you need to sell it, then what ends up happening is you chase the market down. Well, I'm going to reduce the price by 5%. Wonderful. It didn't excite anybody. So I'm going to reduce it another 5%. And then I'm going to get an offer that's 5% lower than that. Well, if you had reduced it 10 or 15% in the first place and get 5 or 6 offers, now you're in a bidding war going back up. And I've shared with you many, many times, I think we changed this, rsrlinks.com/salesmax. rsrlinks.com/salesmax. You want to maximize the sales price of your home? Go to rsrlinks.com/salesmax. And we show you right in there how to do it. You're going to price the property aggressively. You're going to pay the buyer's agent 4%. Yes, I said it. Pay the buyer's agent 4%. You're paying them more than market because you want them to do more than market. You want them to do more than average. You want them to work harder for you. So you're going to pay your listing agent 3. You're going to pay your buyer's agent 4. And you're going to watch the sales and you're going to price aggressively. Hey, Ron, that means I'm going to lose money. No, if you ever want to see a real breakdown of it, give me a call at 800-306-1990 or watch the video, rsrlinks.com/salesmax. And I go in there and I show you exactly why you're going to end up with net dollars to you after you pay the higher commissions with the aggressive price. You're going to end up with net dollars more to you. And I just heard this the other day. Somebody was really excited because their agent said they're going to list their property for 4%. And they didn't ask my opinion, so I didn't give it. But their house didn't get as much money as they wanted in the end. rsrlinks.com/salesmax. We show you how to do it the right way. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, the down payment assistance you didn't know about and strategic liability management, the key to wealth creation and financial freedom. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the first Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporate.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Borrow Smart segment today being brought to you by rsrhomeselect.com. rsrhomeselect.com. Strategic liability management, the key to wealth creation and financial freedom. In the world of personal finance, many homeowners and first-time buyers feel like they're on a never-ending treadmill, struggling to get ahead despite their best efforts. Financial security isn't just about what you earn, but how you strategically manage what you owe. At Ron Siegel Radio, we focus on borrow smart, repay smart, a proven approach to help you build wealth through smarter liability management. This process doesn't just focus on how much you borrow or repay, but on making strategic financial decisions that leverage your liabilities to fuel long-term wealth creation. Today, we'll explore how small shifts in your financial behavior aligned with our proven strategy can lead to significant changes in your financial future. Number one, reframing debt, a wealth creation tool. The traditional view of debt is a burden, something to be paid off as quickly as possible. While eliminating bad debt is crucial, understanding how to leverage strategic debt can be a game changer. When properly managed, borrowing isn't just a necessity, it's an opportunity. Through our Borrow Smart, Repay Smart method, we focus on using liability management to create wealth. Rather than fearing mortgages or home loans, homeowners can use these liabilities to their advantage. Investing in real estate or refinancing smartly to reduce interest costs and increase available cash flow. This approach shifts the mindset of seeing debt as a sinkhole to recognizing it as a key tool for growing assets. For example, refinancing a high-interest mortgage into a lower rate one can free up cash for strategic investments such as funding retirement accounts or reinvesting into home upgrades that increase property value. Number two, the power of refinancing, paying less, gaining more. Refinancing is one of the most effective ways to implement the Borrow Smart strategy. A simple shift in your home loan terms can create a ripple effect that boosts your overall financial strength. Here's how. Let's say you refinance your mortgage, reducing your interest rate by even 1%. This small change can lead to thousands of dollars in savings over the life of the loan. With lower monthly payments, you can then channel that extra cash toward high return investments or eliminate high credit card debt. Remember, we're not talking about just your mortgage debt. We're talking about your household debt. your blended, weighted household debt. This key understanding that smart liability management isn't about paying the least today, but paying the least overall. That's what creates true wealth and financial freedom. Number 3, tackling debt with a plan. Repay smart for long-term stability. Just as strategic borrowing can fuel wealth, strategic repayment is essential for financial stability. The repay smart aspect of our process focuses on eliminating costly, high-interest debt first, while ensuring that you're not depleting valuable resources needed for long-term growth. Prioritizing the right liabilities for repayment is critical. This means focusing on credit cards and other consumer debts with high interest rates while maintaining lower rate loans such as mortgages, student loans, which may offer tax benefits or serve as positive credit signals to lenders. By strategically allocating your repayment efforts, you preserve the capital needed to grow your wealth while gradually freeing yourself from financial burdens. Number 4, small behavioral shifts, the foundation of financial success. Many people make the mistake of believing that wealth creation requires large, life-altering changes. In reality, it's the small, consistent behavioral shifts that can have the biggest impact over time. The Borrow Smart, Repay Smart process is built on these critical improvements, ensuring that every financial decision you make is optimized for long-term success. Some examples: automatic savings. By setting up automatic savings to savings accounts or investment portfolio, you take advantage of the set it and forget it principle, which builds wealth without daily effort. Regular financial audits. Taking the time to review your finances quarterly can uncover unnecessary fees, high interest debt, or opportunities to renegotiate loan terms, all of which can save you money and improve your financial health. Curbing impulsive spending. Implementing a small 24-hour rule for making non-essential purchases can help curb impulsive decisions that derail financial progress. This creates room to allocate funds toward more meaningful investments. These small, manageable changes work synergistically with the Borrow Smart, Repay Smart framework, helping you stay on track with both wealth building and debt elimination strategies. Number 5, emotional barriers to financial success, overcoming them. A major reason many fail to take advantage of strategic financial tools like the Borrow Smart, Repay Smart process is emotional hesitation. Fear of debt, stress over potential mistakes, and the temptation of instant gratification can block financial progress. By understanding the psychological aspects of money management, we help you overcome these obstacles. For example, many first-time buyers are overwhelmed by the complexity of mortgage products, but by breaking down the pros and cons, we empower you to make informed choices that build wealth over time. Additionally, breaking free from the live for now mentality through mindful spreading of conscious saving enables individuals to make decisions that secure their financial futures without feeling deprived in the present. Number 6, planning for the long term, from home ownership to retirement. The Borrow Smart, Repay Smart process isn't just about managing current liabilities, it's about planning for the future. Proper liability management today creates opportunities for larger wealth building milestones down the road. This could mean moving into your dream home, funding your child's education, or enjoying a financially secure retirement. By focusing on strategic debt management now, you position yourself to reap the benefits later. This is where homeownership becomes a cornerstone of wealth creation. By building equity in your property while maintaining manageable debt, you're essentially creating a long-term investment that can serve as financial safety net in retirement. Bottom line, taking control with Borrow Smart, Repay Smart, financial freedom isn't just about eliminating debt. It's about managing it smartly. The Borrow Smart, Repay Smart process we advocate at Ron Siegel Radio and the Siegel Lending Team offers a step-by-step approach that empowers homeowners and first-time buyers to create lasting wealth through intelligent, well-planned liability management. By incorporating small behavioral shifts and reframing the way we think about debt, this process puts you in control of your financial future. Remember, wealth isn't just built by what you earn, but by how easily you manage what you owe. Take the first step today by leveraging your liabilities for longer-term financial wealth. Give me a call at 800-306-1990 800-306-1990 will help you get on the rate path. That is the Borrow Smart segment, brought to you by rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. And as always, we ask, set that first radio preset button, come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
Tides that I tried to swim against brought me down.